This Reacher character should get their own spin-off. Reacher Season 2 came to an action-packed conclusion last month, and now fans are looking ahead to Season 3, which will adapt the seventh book in Lee Child's Jack Reacher series, Persuader. But who says Reacher has to start and end with Jack Reacher himself? Now that the book series has become a live-action media franchise, the powers that be should start thinking of expanding the Jack Reacher universe with some spin-offs, and the first one should star the fan-favorite character, Detective Oscar Finley, Malcolm Goodwin. Finley made a welcome return to the Reacher series, appearing as a guest star in Season 2 after being part of the main cast in the first season. Goodwin is so excellent in the role of Finley that it's the perfect time to explore a Jack Reacher spin-off centered around the stern, austere detective. Although the name of the show is Reacher, co-star Malcolm Goodwin asserted himself remarkably well throughout the show's first season. It is striking how well Goodwin was able to carry a significant amount of the emotional weight and heft of the series, especially when star Alan Ritchson was not on screen. Goodwin imbues Finley with a likable charm, despite his often overly serious, no-nonsense attitude. The first season establishes Finley as an intriguing, layered character. Later episodes demonstrate that he enjoys classic rock, annoying Reacher when he starts playing Kansas's "Carry On My Wayward Son" when they drive together. Goodwin's Finley also holds his own in the action sequences that require it, stripping off his tweed jacket and having one last smoke in the first season finale before going into battle in an epic, die-hard style moment for the character. The best reveal for Finley comes in episode 6 of the first season, Papier. While Finley and Reacher are on a stakeout at the Kleiner Foundation's factory, Finley reveals that he and his wife are not divorced, which Reacher incorrectly inferred in the series premiere. Instead, we discover that Finley's wife, Sharon, passed away from cancer. The reality is that Finley experienced a great deal of emotional trauma after losing his wife, which precipitated his move from his hometown of Boston to the middle of nowhere in Margrave, Georgia, where he was resented by the locals and even some of the officers in the Margrave Police Department. Finley blames himself for his wife's illness and inability to save her, viewing his move to Margrave as a self-imposed exile and penance for her death. When Reacher asks why Finley didn't explain the mistake, Finley explains that everyone assumes that a man like him is divorced, so he opts not to correct them because he doesn't want anyone's pity. Finley has even continued paying his wife's cell phone bill so he could still leave her voice messages and hear her voice. The episode's reveal ultimately serves to make Finley a much more interesting, sympathetic, and relatable character. In Season 2 of Reacher, Finley makes a guest appearance in the fourth episode, A Night at the Symphony, assisting Reacher and David O'Donnell, Sean Sipos, in interrogating Daniel Boyd, Kyle Mack, the aide of Senator Lavoie, regarding the Little Wing technology. While Reacher and Finley share a prickly working relationship, Reacher demonstrates his deep respect for the detective by saying, "If he was in the Army, I'd have asked him to join the 110th, referring to Reacher's old unit in the military police. The episode establishes that Finley has relocated back to his hometown and returned to the Boston Police Department. Not only that, he's moved up in rank, earning the position of lieutenant. Finley also shares that he's still taking care of Jack, the neglected dog he adopted at the end of the first season. Finley's appearance in Season 2 continues the expansion of Reacher's recurring and supporting cast, and also creates the perfect backdoor for a spin-off. Now that Finley is back home in Boston, a prospective series could explore Finley's new role for the Boston PD. Ideally, the series would also show Finley attempting to move on from his wife's loss, as well as living with Jack the dog as his roommate. Since Finley is a working detective who very much likes to play by the rules, he'll often have to be restricted in ways that Reacher is not. However, that does not mean that some of Reacher's more unconventional methods haven't rubbed off on Finley along the way. The Reacher series, based on the iconic character Jack Reacher, created by author Lee Child, has captured audiences' attention through its blend of gripping action, sharp storytelling, and larger-than-life characters. While the Amazon Prime series has largely focused on the stoic and resourceful Reacher himself, the show has introduced a diverse array of supporting characters that could easily carry a spin-off. Among them, one character stands out for their unique blend of charisma, depth, and narrative potential: Francis Neagley. A spin-off centered on Neagley would be a brilliant opportunity to delve deeper into the Reacher universe, offering fresh storylines and perspectives while maintaining the pulse-pounding excitement that fans crave. Who is Francis Neagley? In both the books and the Amazon series, Frances Neagley is introduced as a former military police sergeant who served alongside Jack Reacher. A capable and independent character, Neagley is known for her no-nonsense demeanor, razor-sharp instincts, and a moral compass that aligns closely with Reacher's sense of justice. Despite being less physically imposing than Reacher, Neagley more than holds her own, relying on her intelligence, strategic thinking, and combat skills to navigate dangerous situations. While Neagley shares many qualities with Reacher, she is distinct in several key ways. One of the most intriguing aspects of her character is her struggle with personal boundaries and emotional detachment. She has a well-known aversion to physical touch, a characteristic that not only adds complexity to her personality, but also offers rich storytelling potential. This trait makes her interactions with others more nuanced, as she often compensates for this aversion by being exceptionally perceptive and quick to read people, a quality that serves her well in her line of work. Why Neagley deserves her own spin-off. A Neagley spin-off would not only satisfy fans who are hungry for more Reacher-adjacent content, but also provide an opportunity to explore a character who has the potential to stand on her own as a leading protagonist. Here are several compelling reasons why Frances Neagley is the perfect candidate for a spin-off. 1. A rich backstory. To explore Frances Neagley's background is one of the most underexplored elements in both the books and the series. We know that she, like Reacher, has a distinguished military career, but there is much more to unpack. How did she rise through the ranks of the military police? What events shaped her into the formidable and emotionally guarded individual she is today? A spin-off could delve into her military history, including flashbacks to key missions that defined her career and relationships. This would not only flesh out her character, but also provide a fresh look at the world of military operations and covert missions through Neagley's lens. Additionally, Neagley's character offers the potential for a more psychologically driven narrative. Her emotional detachment, aversion to touch, and fierce independence suggest a rich inner world that could be explored through her relationships with others, whether in the military or civilian life. Perhaps the series could delve into how she manages personal relationships, friendships, and trust in a world where she prefers to keep people at arm's length literally and figuratively. 2. A different kind of hero. Jack Reacher is an iconic action hero, tall, strong, and almost invincible in a physical sense. He's a lone wolf who uses brute strength as much as strategy to take down his enemies. Frances Neagley, while equally independent, brings a different skill set to the table. She is methodical, calculating, and prefers to use intelligence and tactics to outwit her opponents rather than brute force. This difference in approach would provide a fresh dynamic for the spin-off, offering fans a break from the usual punch first, ask questions later style of Reacher. In many ways, Neagley's style of problem-solving is more cerebral and grounded in the psychological nuances of warfare and conflict. A series centered on her could focus more on espionage, investigation, and tactical operations, giving the show a different flavor from the